Hey guys, Drifter here, welcome on Black Ops 2 In-Depth. In today's episode, we're talking about the Overkill Wildcard. From here on In-Depth, I'm basically just making the episodes based on what you write in the comments and what you want to hear about. And of all things in Call of Duty, there was a huge request for Overkill. Not so much the raw stats on this, because it's a relatively simple thing, but Overkill strategy, so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. The gameplay that you're seeing is my Overkill class. I'm using my old M8A1 class with ACOG, and I believe I'm either running stock or FMJ, just kind of depending on what's floating my boat at the moment. My Overkill backup weapon is an MP7. I'm going to tell you why I chose this later. A couple of games bouncing around back and forth, got some interesting gameplay down there. And before I forget, there is a gaming PC giveaway link down there in the description. I'll talk about that closer toward the end of the episode. For now, let's talk about the Overkill perk. Quite simply, Overkill allows you to carry two primary weapons. I wish there was an Underkill perk, because I'd like to have two pistols sometimes, like two or maybe quad, dual wielding, whatever. Anyway, but you get to choose any two primary weapons that you want. A lot of people pick a sniper rifle and something else, or two submachine guns or something like that. The downside is that the second primary can only have one attachment. Even if you put primary gunfighter on as another wild card, this only alters the first primary weapon. So your first primary weapon could have three attachments, but your second primary weapon that you get with the Overkill wild card is still limited to one, so do keep that in mind. You only get one attachment, kind of like older Call of Duty games. That's about all it does, effect and numbers wise, but let's talk about strategy. Me personally, I don't use Overkill very much, very rarely as a matter of fact, because I'm very comfortable with secondaries, the TAC-45, and because of my sort of training on the In-Depth series, learning how to use every single gun, I can use pretty much anything that I pick up off the ground unless it just has horrible attachments for some reason. However, there is a use for Overkill. There is definitely ways to build good classes with it. The best way to do this is you want to pair an all-purpose gun with a specialty weapon. This would normally be something like a sniper rifle and a submachine gun, sniper rifle, assault rifle, light machine gun, submachine gun, shotgun, sniper rifle. You want to take something that has a very special sort of purpose, like a SWAT 5.56. It's a long-range assault rifle. It has very limited close quarters abilities. Even at medium range, it doesn't really compete with the other assault rifles in time to kill, but it's a very long-range assault rifle if you're playing on a big map and you want to put somebody down, or the M8A1 like I'm using. But if you want something for close quarters combat, you could always carry a shotgun with you, or an MP7 or something like that. This is also very useful in game modes where you don't get to scavenge very much, like search and destroy. Some good examples of classes that I have used with Overkill, you've probably just not seen the gameplay from it because I don't do it very much. A DSR-50 and AN-94. I'd run the DSR-50 with all of my sniping sort of attachments, ballistic CPU, variable zoom, that sort of stuff. The AN-94 I would probably just run with stock so that I could have extra mobility. And what I would do is I would snipe, and then when I was worried that anybody's getting close to me, time for the AN-94 because that gun puts people down fast. You see the M8A1 and MP7. M8A1 is a good medium and long range gun. It struggles a little bit in close quarters, but I can get by with it as long as there's time to think. I can swap to my MP7 with no attachments. It's a very hardy, durable, all-purpose gun that I can use anywhere. Also, MK48 plus MSMC, that's slow and fast, long range, and high damage up close. It works very, very well. Typically, the second weapon is the all-purpose one, and the primary weapon is a sniper rifle. It's a light machine gun. It's the specialty or niche weapon, and the second one is the one with high mobility. That's what you want. It's easy to use, very highly mobile, and it'll get you out of a jam. One thing I will say is that pairing any two similar weapons is wasteful when you can just use fast mags. I know a lot of people, they'll build a rushing class, and it'll be Scorpion shotgun. They're like, when I run out of ammo with the Scorpion, I swap to my shotgun. I'm like, why in the world would you do that when you can just put fast mags on your Scorpion and reload it in a fraction of a second compared to the long swapping times, which is what will get you killed if you run Overkill. You need to kind of swap back and forth between different modes, unless you're running fast hands, then you can swap really fast. But a lot of people, they tend to try to swap too much. What you got to do is position yourself and know when to swap and when not. Ideally, you shouldn't be changing or altering your weapons too frequently. You just got to know when to be in what mode. And I recommend you use this for several reasons. If you're uncomfortable with secondaries, there are some people, for some reasons, they just do not like the secondary weapons in this game. If you don't like them, don't use them. If you're uncomfortable with weapon scavenging, I'd kind of recommend you watch some other in-depth episodes, but some people don't like scavenging random weapons with attachments, and there's some game modes like Search and Destroy where you do not have the opportunity to go and browse and scavenge for weapons and pick up what you like, and it's very, very useful to already have a secondary weapon good to go if you're running a sniper rifle and you need a submachine gun backup or something like that. That's all for the in-depth in this episode. I do have a little section at the end for Ironside Computers. They're giving away a gaming PC. All you have to do is subscribe to their channel, and you're basically entered into a lottery to win what is, I believe, about a $1,500, $2,000 gaming PC. A lot of people contact me wanting a shout out or a promo or a plug for subscriptions and stuff, and I don't pay much attention. These people, They're giving away a $1,500 gaming computer if you subscribe to their channel. I see that as a worthy giveaway, a worthy nod. Also, I'm setting up a deal where they're going to send me some products for review, which would be nice to get whole computers to review, so I'm working with them. I'd appreciate it if you'd go check them out. Anyway, that's all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful. If you'd like to check out my previous episode on the Cap 40 and B23R nerfs, you can click the box on the left. That'll open in a new window. If you'd like to check out the next episode on what makes you a good player, this one's going to be all opinion, well, with my weighted in-depth knowledge, of course. That episode's going to be live in a few days. As always, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.